what made the high school legend become a legend? We had this kid in our class named Tyler, who was the definition of average. Not popular, not unpopular, just there, floating somewhere in the middle of the social hierarchy. The kind of kid you'd forget was even in your yearbook until years later, when you're flipping through pages wondering who that guy was. It was junior year when the annual talent show signups were posted in the main hallway. The talent show was a big deal at our school, not because anyone actually cared about the talents, but because it was the one night teachers couldn't give homework, and everyone got to skip last period to attend. No one expected Tyler to sign up. He'd never shown interest in anything remotely performance-related before, but there his name was scrawled at the bottom of the sign-up sheet in messy handwriting. People started whispering immediately. What could Tyler possibly do that was talent-worthy? Some thought it was a joke. Others figured he'd lost a bet with someone. The rumors spread like wildfire. By lunch the next day, theories ranged from him doing stand-up comedy to secretly being a violin prodigy. The week leading up to the talent show, Tyler acted completely normal, still quiet, still average, still just existing. And when people asked him what his act was, he'd just shrug and say, "You'll see." The night of the talent show arrived, the auditorium packed, with students, teachers, and parents, ready to see the usual parade of mediocre singing and offbeat dancing. Tyler was scheduled last, which only added to the mystery. By the time the second to last act finished, a truly painful rendition of My Heart Will Go On, the entire audience was buzzing with anticipation. The principal walked to the microphone and announced, "And now for our final performer, Tyler Johnson." There was scattered applause as Tyler walked onto the stage, wearing his normal clothes, jeans and a plain gray t-shirt, no costume, no instrument, just Tyler standing there, looking surprisingly calm for someone about to perform in front of 500 people. He walked to center stage and just stood there silently for what felt like forever. The audience began shifting uncomfortably. What came out next shocked everyone. It was opera. Not just any opera, but perfect, flawless opera. His voice soared through the auditorium, hitting notes that seemed impossible for a teenage boy. The kind of voice that gives you goosebumps. It makes the hair on your arm stand up, he sang in Italian. Something classical that none of us recognized, but everyone felt. The entire auditorium fell completely silent as this kid, this completely average, forgettable kid, transformed before our eyes into something extraordinary. The final note hung in the air for what seemed like minutes before Tyler closed his mouth, and the spell was broken for 3 seconds. Nobody moved, nobody breathed. Then the auditorium erupted, people leaping to their feet, screaming, clapping, some even crying. The drama teacher, Mrs. Wilson, who had studied music in college, was openly sobbing in the front row. Even the football players were standing on their chairs yelling, "Encore!" The principal tried to regain control of the situation, but it was impossible. When the noise finally died down enough for him to speak, he simply said, "Thanks," and walked off stage. It turned out Tyler had been taking private opera lessons since he was 7 years old. His grandfather was a famous tenor in Italy in the 70s and had taught Tyler everything he knew, but Tyler had kept it completely secret. Not even his closest friends knew. When asked later why he decided to perform after hiding his talent for so long, he just shrugged and said, "I was tired of being invisible, I guess." After that night, Tyler was never just average again. He wasn't suddenly popular in the traditional sense, but he was respected, something far more valuable in the cruel world of high school. He became a legend, the quiet kid with the voice of an angel who shocked everyone when they least expected it. Sometimes the most extraordinary people are hiding in plain sight, waiting for their moment to shine.